Today's endeavor will be to put the heads back on it. So let's get the tripod, which is over here. I need to find one place to keep that, and I have. And we'll set them. We'll set the heads. We've got to get the head, the block, nice and clean. We got to get our gaskets ready and our heads ready. Now, the one thing that we will remember about the heads is that they have a bunch of oil in them, and you can't get it out. Let's get ourselves, we're going to zoom in. Let's just take a little practice look at it here. Okay, that ought to be fine. And all right, so let's do one at a time and turn our light on. Don't want anything to be in the way. I don't think that's going to be in the way. And we'll get those old Velcros off there and put them in the ash can of history, where they belong, in my opinion. I'm sure they're fine for lots of other motors, but just I have had bad experiences with them. So we will not be using those, of course. Of course, it could have been my fault, but I don't think so. If you store the heads flat like that, most of the oil will come out of it. There was some in there, and I wiped it, and look at the dirt I got out of the head. So I'll put it on a clean cloth, and I just sprayed it with brake clean and blew it out with air. And now we're going to spray it with a little WD-40 just to keep any flash rusting from taking place now that it's been stripped. And I got it in a low wind zone here. Okay, so that's all you got to do. I just don't want any flash rusting going on. Okay, I've blown out all the cylinders with high pressure air. I have put a little bit of WD in the cylinders, and now let's wipe down the head gasket surface here. That's soaked with, oh, good God, soaked with brake clean. Look at that. So we're going to dry it off. It's still kind of damp with brake clean. My understanding is that the head gasket needs to have a nice clean surface, and of course we'll do this on the head too. Look at that, it comes off of there. Well, I realize that in Detroit, which was once a great city, and not anymore, but it once was. Y'all can figure out why. I think it was one of the richest cities in the world in the 1950s. So, okay, nevertheless, let's not get political here. I've got plenty of these, so I'm going to use a fresh one every single time, and then I'll rinse it out later. So I'm going to need 4 of them. One for each side and one for each head. Let's go get the Mr. Gasket gaskets. You can't see it, but I've got a 4x4 on the floor over here. 4 on the floor. And that is to help me have a little bit more height to help me pull over this way. This is motor oil in here. And you're supposed to put motor oil on your bolts, your head bolts, before you put them in. Unless you're using ARPs, these are the original head bolts. And so, let's go get the head. Here we come. Put yourself a pad right here so you can get yourself situated and get your wind back, and don't take your hands off of it. Go up in the air a little bit. Keep your bolt handy. It doesn't need to be dripping. I guess it can be. It ain't gonna hurt anything. So let's see if I can do this thing. I wish wish Mick were here or something to help me. I wish somebody was here to help me. Okay, that's why you got to have those pins there. Okay, feeling pretty good there. So that one goes there. And that's 3/4. I didn't think I would need a socket here, but I do. 3/4 socket in place here. Now I'm probably going to go ahead and put these in while you fight. You shouldn't be fighting. It's probably because it's a little bit off. Okay, so we'll put the other ones in, and you see me do one, you don't need to see me do the other. We'll try to maintain some brevity here. So that's more or less half the battle. You got to get the intake manifold on it too. So let's finish this one and then go to the next one. Okay. I had to go in for a while. I got the heads on and I went like 20, 40, 60, 80 and then right up to 90, and I double checked them so the heads are on. I was going to kind of leave them loose and do things, but I don't think you can do that. I think that was kind of a crazy idea. I don't know that much about these motors. This isn't really my bailiwick, so I don't pretend to know, and I just try to throw out ideas. So let's put the lifters in it. I hear these dudes spray this stuff right here on stuff. I am going to give that a try. I'm going to spray it on that camshaft. And effective to 850 degrees. And I've got to go get the intake manifold. I think probably the thing to do now would be put the rockers. Well, you can't do that till you put the pins in, can you? I don't know. Like I said, hell, I don't know. I'm just trying to do my best here. So let's spray this and put the lifters in it. That can't hurt. Let's just do that. These are the lifters that Blue got for me. I've already looked at one of them. They're kind of purty. So let's get them in there. Be sure and put a little bit of lubricant down in there. So let's get them in there one at a time. She takes 16. Then we'll drop the rods in. We have these, and I hope they're all here. It says 8's in a box. This is the point where if you something's wrong, you got to stop and wait a couple of days, right? So just hold your finger on the bottom side of that thing, and I've got the Lucas goo on the back side of the lifters. So let's just do. You know what? I'm gonna be very careful about this and not drag it across the dirty. Now this engine, the dirty head inside the head. This engine doesn't have those things that some have with, that don't feel good. I don't know. I'll put some more in there after I get them in. It doesn't have those hold down tabs. They just sort of flop around inside the head here, so I don't have to worry about that on this one. I know that some of you may be thinking, say, where are them hold down things? Well, this one ain't got them. This is going to be as stock as I can possibly make it. I'm not interested in going to Butler and getting stuff. Oh, that just feels so good. All right, well, I think you've seen enough of that. I just want this to be... Just try to keep the tips clean. So all of those are in. So let's give them a little extra pizzazz here. And now let's go in some. Oh, let's just see. You can see them all. Now don't go through this stuff too quick because you got to put the rockers on. Okay, so we've got these babies here. 181, 1044. This is a strange house because I see hummingbirds around here and I don't try to attract them. But they do just come. So there's your ball and your nut. And be sure and put a little bit right there. And a little bit right there. You can just go across the heads here like this. And it can't hurt to just give it some and then put some on the rocker too. Now, I'm going to go ahead and figure out what size these are. The Pontiac book says 15 to 25 pound-feet on these things. So, you just have to look that up yourself and make sure. So, but there you go. There's your ball and everything. What do you think that is? 9/16? I don't know. We'll find out in a second. About all you can do is just about that right there. And we'll do this one. And then go on like that. And then this 5/8, by the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set those in. Well, oops. See, now that's why you don't put your valley pan in until you feel good and done here. So let's do it like this. Let's put that on. It's so slippery. It's slippery therein. So I think it's better just to douse a little bit there and just kind of let it string you around in there like that. And drop your ball. I tell you what, I'm very tempted to get my Lubriplate white stuff, but this stuff seems to hold pretty good. And you put that in, and then you get your 5/8. Now I've done all these threads, so I should not have any problems. Well, okay. Well, now you get the drill. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go into this, and I didn't really want to. We'll leave the camera back for now. You know, come to those things. These go like this. Okay, so you put that in there like this. And the nut goes in with the flat side against there because this is swedged a little bit, and this is your constant adjustment. So they go like that. Okay, so if you were wondering, that's the way they go. All right, now if I'm having this is causing me grief, and I think of Mick and his dad adjusting the valves on the Nova and all that stuff, and so anyway. Let's talk about this. I don't want to talk about this, but there it is. Okay, there's your chart on adjusting valve lash, and the engine is actually like this. It's 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. But you turn the motor. you get the inlet on number intake, and you can tell by looking at the head which one's intake and exhaust. And you adjust number 6. Now this motor says just torque them down to 15 foot-pounds and call it a day. These other dudes, since they're hydraulic and everything, you're supposed to. They say you're supposed to do this, and I believe them. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Just give me a minute and let me look this over. Let me get these on here, and then I'm going to do this. Now, before I just put them at 15 or 20 pound-feet, and all's good, and everybody's happy, right? Well, I don't know. We will soon see, and we're just going to play around with that. Sheesh. Okay, I've done what I'm going to do, and everybody's got their own way, and I'm not going to tell you what I did. So we're going to just put a little bit more of this across some things. Put it on the tip of where the ball hits the stem, and then put it down in there where that little funky ball is. Make sure you put everything, double check everything, and make sure you didn't put anything in upside down. Just make double, triple dog sure that you got it the way you want it. Now I'm going to put the valley pan gasket, the valley pan and gasket in, the valley pan in. Valley of the pans. So I've got these little cork pieces, like I said the other day. These are off an old MG carburetor kits for the jets, but that cork is looking good to me. That with a little blue Loctite. One's a little longer than the other, and make sure your little receivers are clear. God knows what the torque is on this. My guess would be about as much as the valve covers. Same thing. So it'll be nice to have. I can put the valve covers on it, and after I get the rocker, I don't have to worry about the birds, and I can just cover it up. It'll be nice. So let's put that on there. But I was just going to show you that's the way I do that with little bits of cork. Okay, there that is. Let me get a little 1/2-inch drive here. And a little 1/4 drive is all you need. And we are not going to go big time here. We're just going to kind of center down. It's hard to get them lined up with everything. And then so the thing to do here is just barely cinch it, and that'll stabilize it. And you see it's looking out over there. And then you can just take your finger and just sort of straighten that out. And that's not going to hurt anybody at all. Nobody was harmed in this process. So once you get it on there, and you run your finger across this stuff, and I don't care as long as it seals. And just let that sit there a while. Now give me time to dress up the other gaskets and put those little plastic inserts in there, and get the intake manifold gaskets, and it's time to put this on. But you got to remember to fill this with oil, okay? You got to fill that with oil. I have been vindicated. I have seen other people do this. You get this and you shake it up and get the stuff off the bottom. Okay? There's an additive package in there, and sometimes they settle out, so be sure and do that. So I was going to use this and the oil light, and these things are prone to leak. And I've just made the command decision to just go directly to one thing, and I got to go see what sizes these are. I got my ferrule ready. All I got to do is cut my copper line. I'll show you in a minute. There's my ferrule down in there. I call it Mike Ferrule. My guess is one can't go too far into the weeds, so I just cut this extra copper line off, and I had kind of a hard time finding something to cut it with, but you know, just get your pipe cutter. But you know, when you do a pipe cutter, you end up crushing the end of it, and then you'll have to get something like this, and you'll have to clear that out. And there you go. See? And you just, you know, you want to do all this right. Hold on to this stuff. Put that in your plumbing pile. I just used a little bit of this the other day. If you guys saw my RO water thing, it was this size, but it was nylon. So here we go. We're about ready to do this. This is 7/16 and that's 3/8. Look at that. I happen to have a wrench that is 7/16 and 3/8. Say. So don't get too hog wild over there because you got to flip the ferrule on. So let's do that, and then I'll get you closer to that in a minute. All right, we are almost at the end of our day here. We have the earthing strap going to the back of, you can see the bolt right there if you want to see it. It's right there. And so that earthing strap is on that head. Let's see, I've got the dipstick in it, getting ready to pour the oil in it. And I got the valley pan tightened down. That's the way it ought to be right there. So I forgot there was an earthing strap for right there. I'm going to use it, but I got another availability here. And here's the dipstick for the transmission. I've got the copper tubing plumbed in here, nice and simple. One piece will do you. And I got that on there. And I can't think of anything else right now that I've done. So I guess tomorrow we'll do more. It's 7:00 rock blue time. And so let's just pour the oil down it. Where did I put the oil? So now's the time. I was thinking if I don't have enough, I got to go get another quart of something non-detergent. But we'll see how we do. I don't think we're going to do good. I think we're going to be a quart low. So that's okay. I need to go to town and get some Hydrox cookies anyway. You remember those? Oh man, those are horrible. Okay, let's see. I got my valve covers ready to set into place. Oh, I got to go do those gaskets and put that stuff on the intake side that's fuel proof and set those things. I forgot all about that, so let me do that. This is something that you seldom see, and it's just going to be, you're not supposed to really pour oil that way, but I think I'm going to be okay. So here's the oil, and we're just going to pour it in just like that. And I don't think it's going to overflood there, but boy, it sure does look like it wants to. So I think I better be real careful. Okay, that'll take a while. I got a while. So we're going to put the fancy stuff here around the intakes, and we're going to put the ultra gray around all of this, and we're going to use these little locking tabs, and we're going to put them right there, and then we're going to leave them, and then that's going to be it for tonight. Okay, it's going to be it for tonight. And then I don't know what these little blue things are. It must be for something else on some other motor. I mean, getting tired, starting to say stuff like that. Deoxyribonucleic acid. All right, let's move. Let's put this stuff in. One more shot, and let's call it a night. Okay. We're using 3 kinds of sealant. We got the right stuff for around the water. We got that stuff, which is sort of really aromatic, and you're supposed to let it dry anyway. And I got some red Max to go around the exhaust ports. So we got 3 kinds of silicone. I got that one on already, and I got the 2 orange things somewhere. So phone rang and all kind of hell broke loose. And so let's put this on. I'm kind of wondering about them orange things. Should you leave them in there? I mean, I have to look that up tonight. It just looks to me like that looks like a spacey kind of a thing. But if you glue them on there, I don't know. Who knows? Okay, well, I don't know about these orange keepers. I don't know if you're supposed to just leave them on there or not. Anybody, you might want to think about that. But I've got, they're pretty well glued to this now. And then tomorrow I'll put the gray around this and the blue around this and the red around that, and put the intake manifold on it. And that's already cured out, hasn't it? Look at that. Okay. So I did learn you can just pour the oil right down in there instead of trying to trickle it in. I forgot that was open. I'll have to stick some plastic bags in there tonight. Keep all the critters out of there. Oh, well, let's check the oil. It's right at the full mark, I think. Nope. We're at the full mark. I'll be dogged. Alright, well, I might go get a quart tomorrow anyway, just to have a quart. And, because we might need it when we're breaking in anyway. Lord knows, I just about forgot. I saw it I watched my old videos to see what I did. That's a pretty good thing to remind you what you did. You don't want a banana in your tailpipe. I'd hate to start it up and have that sitting there and making some kind of funky noise. So I did that when I smoked the exhaust system to make sure I didn't know how to weld back there. And I already knew that. Well, that's looking kind of complete. And so we'll put the bag on it. And we will call it a night. So be sure and give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe and share and all that stuff. I sure appreciate all that. And I wish I could tell you what I did with the valves, but I do believe that that it's better that everybody does their own thing on that. Okay, so I got to put some. We'll do it tomorrow though. I got to put some Vaseline. Make sure your caps are closed, especially on this stuff. This stuff dries in no time. I mean, it kind of makes you kind of want to gag. It's so smelly. And well, things are coming together. And I sure appreciate you spending some time with me. And I'm lightheaded from all the funky smells. Whew. So, where are we on the sunset here? Oh, we got a little bit of time. We got about 90 minutes of daylight left. And the days are growing shorter. And so, yeah, we probably got nautical twilight coming and all that good stuff. But thank goodness there's no water here. I've had enough water in my life. All right, thanks a lot. See you later. Tomorrow's a new day. We'll be turning the key in 3 or 4 days, maybe more. It just depends on how I feel. I'm really kind of worried about the carburetor, but I shouldn't be because it was idling good. It's been in that Schaefer bucket for I don't know how long, with all kind of cloths on it and the extra gaskets lying on top of it. So I'm hoping that the Edelbright's going to be fine. I believe everything's in there. So we'll talk later. Y'all have a good day.